I never thought a simple locker room joke could unravel my entire world. But that's exactly what happened that humid summer evening in Chicago. As the star quarterback of our college football team, Jake had always been the king of playful banter, slapping backs and winking at everyone like life was one big game. Me? I was Underwood, the quiet wide receiver who'd known I was gay since high school, keeping it locked away tighter than our team's defense strategy. It started innocently enough during freshman year at Northwestern University. Jake and I were paired as roommates in the dorms, a random assignment that felt like fate's cruel joke. He was the epitome of straight college jock. Tall, broad-shouldered, with a grin that could charm anyone. I'd catch myself staring at the way his muscles flexed when he tossed a football around our tiny room, but I'd always play it off as admiration for his skills. "Dude, you're gonna be pro one day," I'd say, forcing a laugh to cover the flutter in my chest. Our friendship grew fast. Jake was outgoing, pulling me into parties and late-night study sessions that turned into video game marathons. He'd tease me relentlessly about my bookworm vibes, calling me his nerdy sidekick. I didn't mind. It made me feel included in a world where I often felt like an outsider. But there were moments, subtle ones, that made my heart race. Like when he'd drape an arm over my shoulder after a win, his body heat seeping through my jersey, or when he'd crash on my bed after a long practice, shirtless and carefree. One afternoon during sophomore year, things shifted. We were in the gym, spotting each other on bench presses. Jake finished his set and sat up, sweat glistening on his skin. "Man, Underwood, you're stronger than you look. Bet you could pin me down if you tried." He winked and I nearly dropped the barbell. Was it just guy talk? Or was there something more? I brushed it off, but that night, lying in bed, I couldn't stop replaying his words. Society's expectations weighed heavy. Straight guys joked like that all the time, right? No big deal. As the seasons passed, our bond deepened. We shared secrets, well, most of them. Jake confided about his rocky relationship with his high school sweetheart, Sarah, who was now at a different college. "She's great, but long distance sucks," he'd say, staring at the ceiling. I'd nod, offering advice while hiding my growing feelings. How could I tell him that every time he talked about her, it felt like a punch to the gut? Then came the incident that sparked the first real conflict. It was after a brutal loss to Michigan. The team was down, drowning sorrows at a frat party. Jake had a few too many beers and started his usual antics. He grabbed me in a headlock, ruffling my hair. "Underwood here is my secret weapon. Without him, I'd be nothing." The guys laughed, but then he added, "Hell, if I weren't straight, I'd marry the guy." The room erupted, but I froze. Was he serious? Or just drunk? I pulled away, mumbling something about needing air. Outside, the cool night breeze hit me like a reality check. Jake followed a minute later. "Hey man, you okay?" I was just messing around. His eyes searched mine, concern etched on his face. I wanted to scream that no, it wasn't okay, that his words toyed with emotions he didn't even know existed. But instead, I smiled. "Yeah, all good. Let's head back in." That night set off a chain of internal battles. I started questioning everything. Was Jake really straight? Or was there a spark he was denying? Society screamed that guys like him didn't swing that way, but my heart whispered otherwise. I threw myself into training, hoping exhaustion would drown out the thoughts. But Jake noticed. "You've been distant, bro. What's up?" he'd ask during runs. I'd deflect, blaming school stress. Junior year brought more tension. Jake broke up with Sarah over the phone one rainy evening. He was devastated. Pacing our apartment, we'd moved off campus together. I comforted him with pizza and bad movies, my arm around his shoulders feeling both right and wrong. "Thanks for being here, Underwood. You're the best friend a guy could have." His words stung. Friend. That's all I'd ever be. But then the playful teasing escalated. He'd walk around in boxers, flexing dramatically. "What do you think, Underwood? Am I calendar material?" I'd roll my eyes, but inside, it was torture. One evening, after a team barbecue, he cornered me in the kitchen. "You know, you're kinda cute when you're focused." My breath caught. "What?" He laughed it off. Just kidding, man. Lighten up. I couldn't take it anymore. That night I confronted him. Jake, your jokes. They mess with me sometimes. He looked puzzled. What do you mean? I hesitated, heart pounding. Nothing. Forget it. But the seed was planted. Rumors started swirling on campus. Whispers about our bromance being too close. Teammates joked, but some glares felt judgmental. In a conservative sports world, anything non-straight was a liability. The first major conflict hit during a team meeting. Coach pulled us aside after noticing tension. You two are our leaders. Sort out whatever's going on. Jake shrugged it off, but I felt exposed. Later, he asked, is this about what I said? I'm sorry if it weirded you out. I wanted to confess, but fear held me back. What if he rejected me? What if it ruined the team? As the semester wore on, external pressures mounted. Jake's parents visited, traditional folks from the Midwest who expected him to settle down with a nice girl. They eyed me suspiciously, like I was an intruder. So, Underwood, any girlfriends? His mom asked over dinner. I mumbled no, feeling like an imposter. Inside, my emotions boiled. I started journaling, pouring out the confusion. Loving someone who might never love me back. Navigating a society that still debated gay rights in sports. Protests on campus about LGBTQ plus inclusion clashed with conservative rallies, mirroring my internal war. One night, after a win, Jake suggested we celebrate alone. We grabbed beers and headed to the lakefront. The city lights twinkled, and for a moment it felt romantic. Underwood, you're more than a friend to me, he said suddenly. My heart soared. What do you mean? He paused. Like a brother. Crash. I nodded, hiding the pain. But the turning point was coming. Little did I know, that playful night would change everything. The build-up to that fateful night was a slow burn of unspoken tensions and societal whispers. Our team was gearing up for the conference championships, and the pressure was immense. Jake and I spent more time together than ever. Extra practices, strategy sessions in our apartment, shared meals that felt increasingly intimate. I catch him staring at me during film reviews, his expression unreadable. Was it curiosity, affection, or just fatigue? Campus life added fuel to the fire. A scandal rocked the athletic department. A basketball player came out as gay, only to face backlash from alumni donors. Protests erupted, with signs reading, "Keep sports straight," clashing against rainbow flags. Jake and I discussed it over coffee. It's bullshit, he said, slamming his mug. Who cares who someone loves? His passion surprised me, igniting hope. But then he'd add, as long as it doesn't affect the team. Those words lingered, a reminder of the invisible barriers. I confided in my only out friend, Mia, from my psych class. He's sending mixed signals. I told her during a late-night call. 1 minute playful, the next pulling back. She warned me, straight guys experiment, but it rarely ends well. Protect your heart, Underwood. I tried, but Jake made it hard. During a road trip to Ohio State, we shared a hotel room. He stripped down to shower, casually chatting about the game. You nervous? He asked, towel around his waist. I averted my eyes. A bit. That night, he had a nightmare, thrashing in his bed. I woke him, my hand on his shoulder. Thanks, he murmured, holding my gaze too long. Electricity crackled, but he rolled over. Back home, the teasing intensified. At a team party, Jake danced wildly, pulling me into the fray. His hands on my waist felt possessive. You're mine tonight, Underwood, he yelled over the music. The guys cheered, but a few exchanged looks. Later, one teammate, Mike, cornered me. What's up with you two? It's getting weird. I denied it, but the seed of doubt grew. Was our friendship crossing lines that society deemed unacceptable? The conflict escalated when Jake's ex, Sarah, visited unexpectedly. She showed up at practice, all smiles and hugs. Jake lit up, introducing her around. Watching them, jealousy twisted my gut. That evening, they went out, leaving me alone with my thoughts. When he returned late, smelling of her perfume, I snapped. Have fun. My tone was sharper than intended. He frowned. Yeah, why? We argued, our first real fight. "You've been acting off," he accused. "If something's bothering you, say it." I almost did, but fear won. "Nothing. Good night." The next day, apologies flowed. Jake brought breakfast burritos, his peace offering. "I hate fighting with you." We reconciled, but the rift lingered. Society's gaze felt heavier. News articles about homophobia in sports. Friends questioning my single status. "You need to date," Mia urged. But who? My heart was taken. As championships neared, stress peaked. Jake confided his fears. Failing, disappointing his family. "They want me to go pro, marry, have kids. The whole American dream." I nodded, masking my pain. "You'll get it all." But inside, I wondered, where did I fit? The night it all changed started innocently. After a grueling practice, the team hit a bar. Jake and I stayed late, shots flowing. He was playful as ever, arm around me. "You're the best, Underwood. Love ya, man." The words hung heavy. As we stumbled home, rain poured. In our apartment, soaked and laughing, he turned to me. "Dude, let's dry off." He peeled off his shirt, then mine. "Wait." But he was close, too close. His hand lingered on my chest. "What if?" he whispered. Time stopped. Our eyes locked, and in that electric moment he leaned in. The kiss was tentative, then urgent, a dam breaking. We pulled apart, breathless. "Jake!" He looked shocked. I don't know." Panic set in. "This can't happen. I'm straight." He backed away, grabbing clothes. "Forget this." But I couldn't. "Wait, talk to me." He stormed out, leaving me reeling. What had we done? Society's judgments flooded my mind. Ruined friendships, team drama, family rejection. Was this the start of something real, or a drunken mistake? The next morning, he avoided me. Practice was awkward, passes off target. Teammates noticed. "You two fighting again?" Mike asked. I shrugged. Jake cornered me later. "Last night was a mistake." "I'm sorry." His eyes said otherwise, conflict brewing. But denial cracked. Over days, stolen glances turned to secret talks. "I've never felt this," he admitted one night. "But what about everything? The team, my future?" I shared my fears, coming out backlash. We could figure it out together. External conflicts mounted. A reporter sniffed around, hinting at team dynamics. Jake's parents called, pressuring him about Sarah. "She's good for you," his dad said. Jake hung up, frustrated. "They don't get it." Our relationship evolved in shadows. Hand-holding behind closed doors, whispered confessions. But guilt gnawed. "Am I gay?" Jake asked. "Bi? I don't know." Labels clashed with his identity. The first public clash came at a campus event. A debate on LGBTQ plus athletes turned heated. Jake spoke up. "Love is love." Cheers and boos. Afterward, a conservative alum confronted him. "Stick to football, kid." Jake stood firm, but doubt crept in. My own battles raged. Friends suspected. Mia warned, "If he's not ready, it'll destroy you." But hope persisted. One evening, Jake said, "I think I love you." Joy surged, tempered by reality. As championships loomed, a decision point arrived. Jake's agent called, "Pro scouts watching." "Keep your head down," he advised. But our secret weighed heavy. The championships became a battleground not just for the team, but for our hidden truths. Jake and I navigated a minefield of emotions, our connection deepening amid the chaos. On the field, we were seamless, his throws finding my hands like destiny. Off it, tension simmered. Stolen moments in the locker room. A brush of fingers, a meaningful look, but fear loomed large. Society's conflicts intensified. A viral article exposed homophobia in college sports, naming our conference. Teammates debated in the weight room. "If someone's gay, does it matter?" one asked. Mike snorted. "As long as they don't bring it to the team." Jake stayed silent, but his jaw clenched. Later, he vented, "It's bullshit. Why can't people just be?" His internal struggle mirrored mine. Nights were spent talking, really talking. Growing up, my dad drilled in what a real man is, Jake confessed. Football, girls, family. I shared my story, realizing I was gay at 15, hiding from judgmental peers. Coming out felt impossible. Our vulnerabilities bonded us, but doubt persisted. What if this is just confusion? He worried. The first major fallout hit when Sarah returned. She sensed something off. Over lunch with Jake, she probed. You seem different. He deflected, but she pushed. That night, he told me, she thinks there's someone else. Guilt flashed. Tell her the truth? He shook his head. Can't. Not yet. Deception bred conflict. I felt like the other, hidden away. Am I just an experiment? I asked during a heated whisper argument. Jake's eyes welled. No, this is real. But actions spoke louder. He pulled back publicly, overcompensating with bro talk. Campus rumors escalated. An anonymous post on the student forum. Star QB and WR too close? Bromance or more likes poured in, mixed with hate. Jake freaked. If this gets out, my career's over. Scouts valued character. Code for straight and scandal-free. Family added pressure. My parents, liberal but distant, called. How's life? Dating anyone? I lied, feeling isolated. Jake's folks visited again, pushing Sarah. Reconsider her, his mom urged. After they left, Jake broke down. They'd disowned me. We sought solace in each other. But it wasn't enough. A turning point came during a bye week. We escaped to a cabin in Wisconsin, away from prying eyes. Their barriers fell. I love you, Underwood, he said under starlit skies. But I'm scared. I was too. We face it together. Reality intruded upon return. Coach called a meeting. Focus, boys. No distractions. His gaze lingered on us. Paranoia set in. Then, disaster. Mike confronted Jake. I saw you two at the bar. Handsy. What's going on? Jake denied. Just friends. But Mike wasn't convinced. If it's what I think, it could tank the team. The betrayal stung. Mike once a buddy, now a threat. Whispers spread. Teammates distanced. During practice, missed blocks left me vulnerable. Watch it, Jake yelled at a lineman. Tensions boiled. Social issues amplified. A pride event on campus drew crowds and counter-protesters. Jake wanted to go, show support, but fear held him. What if someone sees us? We went separately, but our eyes met across the quad. A speaker shared coming out stories, echoing our pain. That night, high on emotion, Jake kissed me fiercely. Screw the world. But morning brought regret. We can't be reckless. The championship game approached, stakes sky high. Jake's performance dipped. Nerves or distraction? Coach benched him briefly. Get your head straight. The pun hit hard. In a desperate bid, Jake suggested space. Until after the game. Heartbreak. You mean hide more? He nodded. For us. But it felt like rejection. Alone, I grappled with choices. Push for truth or let go. Society's debates raged in my mind. Rights versus tradition, love versus career. Game day arrived, electric atmosphere in the stadium. We played flawlessly, but off-field drama simmered. In the huddle, Jake's hand on my back lingered. For you, he whispered. We won, confetti raining. In the locker room, euphoria. But Mike pulled Jake aside. Congrats, but sort your shit. Jake snapped. Mind your business. Post-game party. Alcohol flowed. Inhibitions dropped. Jake found me. I can't pretend anymore. In a quiet corner, he confessed. I'm in love with you. Let's tell them. Joy mixed with terror. Now? He nodded. But before we could, Sarah appeared. Uninvited. Jake, we need to talk. She pulled him away. I watched, heart sinking. Hours later, he returned. Distraught. She knows. Guessed. Conflict. Relief and fear. What now? The night ended in turmoil. Teammates overheard snippets. Whispers turned to confrontations. Is it true? One asked. Jake hesitated. Then, yeah. Underwood and I are together. Silence, then chaos. Some cheered. About time. Others glared. This changes everything. Mike stormed out. Society's mirror reflected. Acceptance clashing with prejudice. Jake's phone blew up. Family, agent, friends. In the aftermath, we clung together. Was it worth it? He asked. I nodded, but doubts lingered. The fallout from Jake's confession rippled like shockwaves through our lives, testing every bond and belief. The morning after the party, campus buzzed. Social media exploded. Hashtags like Wildcats Out and Keep Sports Pure trended. Supportive posts mixed with vitriol. Anonymous trolls calling us disgraces. Jake's agent called first. This could kill your draft stock. Deny it. Jake refused. It's who I am. Click hung up. His parents were next, voices laced with disappointment. We raised you better, his dad barked. Think of the family. Jake's mom cried. What about grandkids? He ended the call, tears streaming. I faced my own reckonings. My parents, surprised but supportive, offered, we're here for you. But teammates divided. Some, like our kicker Tom, high-fived, proud of you guys. Others, including Mike, boycotted meetings. It distracts, Mike grumbled. Coach summoned us. Personal lives stay personal. But if it affects the team. He trailed off, implication clear. Practices turned tense, plays faltering. Jake's throws lacked zip. My routes felt mechanical. Whispers in the huddle. Focus on football, not drama. External pressures mounted. Reporters camped outside our apartment. Comment on the relationship? One shouted. We no commented, but privacy shattered. A conservative sports blog labeled us agenda pushers, claiming we ruined team morale. Counter articles praised our courage, citing progress in LGBTQ+ rights. Jake struggled most. I thought I was ready, he admitted one night, head in hands. But this hate. I held him, our roles reversed. We'll weather it. But inside, I questioned. Had I pushed too far? Was love worth the wreckage? Social conflicts peaked at a university panel on inclusivity. We were invited, reluctantly accepted. Jake spoke first. Love shouldn't be a scandal. Applause from half the room. Boos from the other. A heckler yelled, stick to sports. Security escorted him out. Post-panel, Jake's resolve hardened. No hiding. But cracks showed. Old friends distanced. Sarah texted venom. You used me. Guilt ate at him. My emotions swirled. Elation at openness. Terror at backlash. Mia advised therapy. Process this. We went together, unpacking layers. Jake's internalized homophobia. My fear of abandonment. As winter break neared, a crisis hit. Jake's scholarship faced review. Alumni threatened pullouts. Morals clause, the dean explained. Protests formed. Pro-LGBTQ+ rallies versus traditionalist petitions. In the midst, our relationship deepened. Quiet nights, cooking dinner, sharing dreams. I want a future with you, Jake said. Hope flickered. But reality bit. During a holiday visit home, Jake's family ambushed. Choose us or him. Ultimatum. He left early, devastated. They don't understand. Back on campus, we rebuilt. Teammates thawed, wins helped. Mike apologized. I was wrong. Unity returned, fragile but real. Yet, personal tolls mounted. Jake battled depression, I anxiety. Is this what love costs? He asked. Spring brought renewal and more trials. NFL Combine invites arrived, but scouts whispered. Character concerns. Jake trained harder, proving worth. A pivotal moment. National interview. Jake went solo. I'm bisexual. And proud. The world watched. Support flooded. Hate too. But visibility mattered. Our story inspired. Closeted athletes reached out. You gave me hope. But controversies lingered. Debates on forcing acceptance. As graduation loomed, choices crystallized. Jake got drafted late round but drafted. We did it, he beamed. but not without scars. Relationships mended slowly. His parents reached out tentatively. We love you. Reflecting, conflicts shaped us. Societal clashes forging resilience. The scars from exposure ran deep, but they also paved paths to authenticity. Jake's draft day was bittersweet. Cheers in the green room, but online trolls raged. Politics in sports, they cried. We celebrated privately, toasting to survival. Post-college, life diverged. Jake moved to California for rookie camp. I stayed in Chicago for grad school. Long distance tested us, echoing his past with Sarah. Miss you, nightly calls began, but doubts crept. Was our foundation strong enough? Societal echoes persisted. Jake's team had an inclusive culture, but locker room banter sometimes stung. Be careful, veterans warned. He navigated, advocating subtly. I interned at an LGBTQ+ nonprofit, channeling pain into purpose. Your story matters, my boss said. Speaking engagements followed, sharing our journey, conflicts, triumphs. A major dispute arose when Jake's endorsement deal fell through. Image mismatch, the brand cited. Outrage, boycotts ensued. Fight back, I urged. He did, suing for discrimination. Media frenzy. During trial, truths emerged. Jake's evolution from straight to embracing fluidity. Love defies labels, he testified. Verdict. Win.
Precedent setembre.
But victory cost. Strained team dynamics. Hero or distraction? Headlines asked. Personally, we grew. Visits filled with passion, plans. Marry me someday? Jake proposed casually. Joy but reality. Same-sex marriage debates still simmered in pockets. Family reconciliation. Jake's parents attended a game, awkward hugs. We're trying, his mom said. My path, thesis on sports inclusivity, drawing from experience. Change starts with stories, I wrote. As years blurred, our bond endured, proof against odds. Enduring the storms of public scrutiny and personal doubt, Jake and I forged a life together, but not without ongoing battles that tested our resolve. In California, Jake's NFL career took off modestly, backup QB, but with potential. I relocated after grad school, landing a job at a sports equity firm. Our apartment overlooked the bay, a symbol of new beginnings. Daily life brought subtle conflicts. Jake's teammates were mostly supportive, but occasional jokes hit raw nerves. Don't go all rainbow on us, one quipped. Jake shut it down. Respect, man. Advocacy became his side gig. Speaking at pride events, challenging norms. Society evolved slowly. Marriage equality was law, but cultural acceptance lagged in sports. When Jake proposed for real on a hike at Big Sur, I said yes. But planning sparked debates. Public or private? Family involvement? Jake's parents attended the wedding, strained smiles. Happy for you, his dad muttered. Progress, but incomplete. My family embraced fully, toasts flowing. Post-wedding, life stabilized. Jake started games. I published articles on LGBTQ+ athletes. Our story inspired a documentary, stirring controversy. Propaganda, critics claimed. Truth, supporters countered. A major crisis hit when Jake suffered an injury, torn ACL. Recovery months tested us. What if I can't play? He fretted. I reassured. You're more than football. Vulnerability deepened our connection. During rehab, external pressures resurfaced. A bill in Congress aimed to protect sports from ideology. Code for anti-trans and gay restrictions. We lobbied against it, testifying. Love builds teams. Hate divides, Jake argued. Bill defeated, small victory. Personal growth continued. Jake explored therapy, unpacking bisexuality. I denied it too long. I confronted my insecurities. Was I enough? Years passed. Jake retired early, coaching youth. I led nonprofit initiatives. We adopted a dog, dreamed of kids, surrogacy debates aside. But peace was punctuated by reminders. Online hate, family tensions. Jake's sister came out as lesbian, crediting us. Cycle of change. Reflecting on that playful night, paths diverged from expectation. Society shifted, but not fully. Our love endured, a testament to choice over conformity. I advanced to director at the nonprofit, spearheading campaigns that changed policies in leagues nationwide. Collaborations with Jake amplified impact, joint panels, fundraisers. Yet, disputes persisted. A high-profile athlete's scandal reignited debates. Gays in locker rooms? Pundits argued. We countered on podcasts. Humanity over hate. Family bonds strengthened over time. Holidays with Jake's parents grew warmer. Shared meals bridging gaps. We were wrong, his dad admitted one Thanksgiving. Our circle expanded. Friends from all walks, a chosen family. Mia stood as best woman at our vow renewal. A pivotal choice arose. Parenthood. Navigating adoption as a gay couple brought bureaucratic hurdles. Societal stares. But when we brought home our son, Eli, joy overshadowed all. Raising him, we instilled openness. Love who you love, we taught. Conflicts, school bullies echoing old prejudices. We fought back, advocating for inclusive education. As Eli grew, our story became legend. Bedtime tales of how Dad and Papa met. Laughter at the playful too far apart. Aging gracefully, we reflected on legacies. Jake's memoir topped charts, sparking dialogues. Mine followed, academic yet personal. Through it all, love prevailed amid society's slow march forward. In the end, was it right to cross that line, knowing the chaos it would unleash?